Hi there, welcome to the refurbishment of my Great Plains Trainer 60, and this is a lovely model. It's a high wing model that I built must be 2 years ago, and I've got a build series for it, and if you look in the description below there'll be a link to that build series. And I've been flying this so often over the last couple of years. I just absolutely love it. It's a really nice plane and the gentlest of landings. Now, when I covered this, I made the mistake of using Easy Coat, which is absolutely shocking material, and there's a review in the description below as well. And essentially the material, the Easy Coat, was coming off all around the front. It was loosening off around here, and I just kept putting off recovering it until it got to the point where it was just flapping around and I was going to do some damage to the balsa with the oil soaking in. So, but it also coincided with me wanting to change the engine. I've been using this Merco 61, which is a lovely reliable engine, but I just fancied a change, and I thought, as I'm refurbishing it, which is a project I don't particularly like refurbishing, to be honest. I'd rather be building from scratch, but I kind of wanted to put in a different engine which just added a sweetness to the refurbishment. So I've got this lovely 8cc Taplin twin, and in the last video, in the first video we stripped it, the last video we got the engine fitted and the linkages done, and now in this video we're going to be doing the covering, and I'm quite excited to get this covering done. I'm not going to be using Easy Coat. I'm going to be using Cover, and I'm going to be using two different colours. I'm going to be using a red and a black. Now this was red and blue originally, as you can see. The red is a different colour red. The only colour I've got of that is Easy Coat. In fact, I'm not sure I've got it anymore, but so it's a slightly different shade of red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the black on the back here coming up to the trailing edge of the wings, and a line coming down there with the black, and then the front is going to be red right up to the nose and around the nose. So this will give enough separation between the two reds, hopefully, that it won't be a big clash. I don't have any blue other than a Corsair blue, which is similar, but I'd rather not use that. I'd rather, like I say, black on the back, black on the underside, and then this lovely red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working from the back going forward, so that all the material is sort of overlapped going towards the back. So we'll put this on, and then we'll have a seam overlapping so that the wind is pushing that seam closed. If we have it the other way, as it's flying, the airstream will be potentially pushing that seam open, and if it just lifts a little bit, it will just take it off. And it will also be an area for ingress of oil, whereas if it's like that and the airflow is that way, the oil flow is just going over the seam. That's the plan. So I think first of all I will do the sides, and I will lap that underneath, and I will lap it onto the top here, and then I will do the top lapping down onto the sides, and the underside will just be flush on the underside. I think we'll do the black first, and I'll get set up on the bench and I'll cut some pieces and we'll have a look at how that black's going to go on. Right, I thought it'd be worth having a very quick look at how I'm preparing the bits of covering film, and just to say before I get into that, the only preparation I've done on the balsa is to fine sand it and then use my workshop vacuum with a brush on it just to get off all the dust. I haven't put any sealer or anything like that, so it's nice and clean, nice and dust free. Now I'm just setting up a piece of the black here for the side. Now I would like to have brought the black a little bit further, but I'm short on material. I don't have a piece that will go that far. I'm trying to use up some kind of stuff that I've got from another covering. So what we're going to do is use what we've got. I've cut out a slot here, or a step down here, which is going to go under the tailplane like that, and that will give me just enough on the top here just to go around the curve there. It will give me enough to lap underneath. I'm going to trim that in a bit, so there's only about 1 centimetre, quarter of an inch going along the underside. What I'm going to do next though is make sure I've got this lined up under here, and because I can't go any further that way because my piece isn't long enough, I'm going to bring this down at the same angle as the this back piece here that slopes down, and I'm going to cut that at an angle like that with enough overlap that the red can then come on top of that in line with that that back piece. If I just turn that over a little bit, there we go. So the red will follow that line down. I'm going to do black on the top, and I will do black on that, so it will come black and then it will come into this line coming down. So all I'm going to do is just, as I say, got that lined up, got that in line with that, and I'm just going to draw a pencil line on there like that, and then I will cut that with a scalpel and a straight edge, and like I say, that will give me enough overlap. You see the pencil line there. So I'm going to do this piece, I'll then copy it for the other side, and then we can get these on. Right, let's get this piece of covering on. I've got my iron heating up. In actual fact it's cooling down, it's on 115. I'm going to take it down to about 105 just to tack it in place. Now this Aura cover, to my mind, is the best covering material of this nature anyway that you can get. I've used nothing that comes anywhere close to it. It sticks really well, it puts up with glow, diesel, petrol, whatever, and it stretches around corners like nothing I've ever seen before. So like I say, to my mind it is the best covering material. It's not the cheapest, but it is absolutely brilliant. Right, so I've got this in place. My iron, you can see, is it in camera? Yeah, it's just on a towel here, so I can just plonk it down, and once I'm sure that is in the right place, we'll tack that. I might just, yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to touch it here. Actually it's down to 105 now. Ooh, so there's a little bit of colour come off on my iron. I'm going to clean my iron before I do any more, and then we'll be back in a minute. There's some colour on that from something. There we go, just clean the iron. There's a really important lesson there. Make sure your iron is nice and clean. I just used some cellulose thinners just to take that off. I think it was a little bit of glue from the Aura cover when I perhaps tried to stick it down the other day. Anyway, let's get on with this. So we've got that tack there. One of the things about this is if it's not very nice, we can, if it's in the wrong place, we can heat it up and it will lift off, and then we can put it back down. It's really good like that. So I'm just going to tack it there on the corner because that's quite a critical place, and then I'm just going to come down. I know you can't see this, but I'm just coming down on the underside of the fin where it, or the underside, sorry, of the tailplane. And so I'm happy now that and we see that, yeah, is in the right place. So what I'm going to do is just go around the edges and just carefully tack this down. The other thing about Aura cover is that it shrinks really well. There we go. Now I'm just going to roll this up onto that top edge. And if I get the odd little bit of a crease, oh not a crease, but a wrinkle as I go, or bagginess, that's fine, because it will just shrink out really well. Right, just on this underside, lap it underneath. I'm going to put the temperature up a little bit in a minute and just shrink it and then get the other side on. But this is going on really well. Like I say, this aura cover to my mind is the best you can get. Right, now you can see I've got all this stuck down, and hopefully you can see there's some baggy bits here. Now what I've done is I've bumped my iron up, well it's on 130 now, but I think I've set it at 120. I think this will be okay. And what I'm going to do is just, might be just a little bit too hot, but it'll soon cool down, and as it's hot I'm going to do this baggy bit first, and we're just going to shrink this baggy bit. So I'm not going to put too much pressure on, I'm going to let the film shrink and then I can stick it down. And if I try and press on it too hard while it's baggy, then it's going to leave it with some creases in it, and I would rather not have creases. Although I have been quoted as saying if you can't see it on a low pass, then it's fine. Right, well I've got both of the sides on now, and I'm just doing this top piece. I wasn't sure really whether I should be doing the red here first and then the top piece, but if I put the red up to here and then lap that over, we're going to have the airflow pushing at this seam here. So I think I'm going to do that first. So what I've done is I've centered that there, so I know this is more or less the right place. I've cut out a slot where the fin goes, and now I'm just marking where to cut the tail end of this here. Just move that around a little bit, because essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these from the start of the tail plane here to a point on the fin, bring that across. So I'll get this cut up, I'll mark that one there, and then I'll start to get this on. But exactly the same process with the iron at about 110, and it'll go on lovely. Right, I've now got the black on, and I'm really pleased with how that's gone. It's looking nice, but then aura cover is really good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut a red piece. I'm going to do this side first, I think, and again I'll lap it just under, roll it around the top, and then I'll stretch it around the front there. We'll come back and have a look when I do that stretching there, because it does stretch round corners really nicely. So it'll be good to get the red on here and get this done. Right, well I thought it was worth having a quick look at this before I move on and start putting this down. So I've cut the red, and the critical thing in this is to get this line here correct, that joins in with the black and follows the line of the fuselage down here. So what I'm going to do, my iron's just heating up. As soon as it's heated up, first thing I'm going to do is just stick this, because I don't want that to move. Once I've got that done, I will probably just flatten this out, tack it down here, and then at this top edge, and make sure that it's all nice and flat. I've got enough just on this side here to overlap, and also on the top here enough to overlap. So I will get on and do this, and we'll have a look when we get up to the nose area and start stretching that round. Right, almost up to temperature. Right, I've got this side covered now. Still needs a little bit of shrinking, but it's fairly good. And I've got the fuselage on my bench. I'm just propping it up at the back here, and I've got it on the bench with towels on it, there's loads of towels here, and it's just holding it still, because the last thing we want when we're doing this is it spinning round and just causing us grief, because we're spending half our time trying to stop it moving. Now we've got a lot of bag. If we try and bring this around the nose, we're going to end up with loads and creases. It's just going to look a mess. So we're heating this up to 160 degrees. We may go hotter yet, and what we need to do is stretch the film round. So I think what I'm going to do is start in the middle, and we need to do this a little bit at a time. So we pull it down and we just heat it up, and we hold it there. We don't let go, we wait for the glue to go off. And now I'm going to do the next bit. Oops. Like that. It's a really nice material, this, to stretch around corners. You can see it's just going around there, really nice. I mean, we'll need to finish it off, but we just do it a little bit at a time. It'd be nice if this was a little bit longer, so it wasn't quite so close to my fingers. There we go. There. See, now that looks really nice. We've still got the underside a little bit to do, but we'll turn it over so we can see it better. Well, I lined up the camera to do this top bit and then forgot to switch it on, but it's exactly the same process as we did for the underside there. And you can see how lovely that has gone round there. There's still a few little wrinkles, and what we're going to do now is I'll just put these towels back onto the fuselage to hold it. What I'm going to do now is just go around there and pull this again. To be honest, you didn't miss anything really, because you saw the process from the other side, and we'll do that. This is why, or one of the reasons, I love Oracover so much. Look at that. That is just, and we're going to trim that in a minute, and it'll just look absolutely gorgeous. Sometimes you have to, just as I've done there, just go back a little bit, because it develops a little bit of a crease when you do the bit forward of it. But that's fine. Look at that. So I will get this finished and get this trimmed up, but you can see how lovely that has stretched around there. No creases, no seams where we've had to cut it to get it around the corner. Right, now I've decided, rather than cutting it straight on that edge, I'm going to have a thin line coming down into the engine bay. So we're going to stretch it a little bit more. Actually, I've just realised I need to just stretch around this corner here as well, just a little bit. So I can cut that. Yeah. So we're just going to finish this off now around this corner here and just stretch it down. And once I've got it down, see, I mean, that's come all the way around and onto that inside edge there without a single crease. That is pretty good going. Right, well, I've now got this finished, and I'm really pleased and relieved to get it done, and I'm really looking forward to moving on to the next stage, which is going to be fitting out this fuselage, putting all the radio gear back in, getting this lovely Taplin twin mounted in the front. It's going to look great. Now, I ended up using total black on the underside, just simply because I had a few remnants left that I thought I might as well use up. As I keep saying, this Oracover was lovely. It stretched around the front, really nice. Although the experience was slightly marred by the glue, some of the glue that's left. You can see there the blue from the easy coat, which just kept getting on the iron, and then I'd end up spreading it, and I had to keep cleaning it off with cellulose thinners. But we've got it done, and it's good to get it done. And I can't wait now to move on to the next stage of this, where we actually start fitting it out, putting it back together, and like I said, getting this absolutely lovely Taplin twin up front. So anyway, I hope you found this useful, interesting, and please come back, see how we get on in the next video, getting this all set up. Thanks very much for watching.